my healing and my processing of things, being in the Black community and being told like you can't cry, or if you are crying, you better stop right now. I'm gonna give you something else to cry about, right? Something that has um, helped me is giving myself space to cry, like just hard as fuck about something if it makes me feel I want to cry at least the one time, just like hard as I possibly can. For instance, I was talking about the picture of my father and he wasn't holding me. Like, well, who was holding you? My aunt was holding me in front of him, and my mom was taking the picture from the bed, and he was sitting in the chair at the foot of the bed, and she was holding me. And it was my aunt Linda, and she recently passed away last year. God bless her family, like her closer family, like her children, because it really was a hard blow for them. She's a family staple. And though I wasn't too connected to her or that part of the family um, before then, or even now, really, like I don't really communicate with them often, but they are family, and I did grow up seeing them almost every weekend. You feel me? It's just in my adult life. I haven't been talking to them recently. Um, but she was a family staple. And I just kind of, it was one of those weird things where I was just like, she would just always be around, you know? And it just seemed so sudden, and a lot of people weren't even aware of what she was going through because we aren't particularly a family that talks. Um, but when I heard that she passed away, such a wave of grief washed over me. Um, and I really had to let myself have that moment and have those tears and have that pain and that frustration and that loss. Even though I wasn't particularly connected to her or that side of the family that deep. You feel me? It was just knowing how integral she was in my life and knowing how I expected her to just be one of the aunts that lived to be 80 or 90 years old. I just kind of assumed, you feel me? But you don't know what people are going through if you don't communicate with them. That's just in any case, whether you're living with that person or whether you're a part of their family and you live thousands of miles away. If you're not communicating with people, you have no idea what they're going through. Um, and I let myself have that time so now that I can talk about it and just share the story and not be overcome by grief. And I think that's what a lot of men need to understand, especially black men, is that just because you cry about something one time or just because something hurt you one time doesn't mean that it needs to continue to hurt you. But acknowledging that it hurt you has to happen, because if you ignore it, you're keeping that pain and that energy inside of you, and it starts to compress and turn into different diseases, and it starts to turn into dysfunction, and expressing itself through anger and other emotions like that, and bringing up more frustration in your life, when you could have just cried about it that one time. Just let yourself have those tears and release and say, okay, I'm going to move forward. Like, and I'm not saying, and this is why I wanted to preface that this is kind of built on my idea that, my conditioning, my upbringing of you can't cry. Just my idea, like, you can just give yourself at least one time. You feel me? Give yourself at least one time to cry about it. And if you need more, feel free. Look, sometimes I break my rule. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I cry more than once, but I really do believe in the power of just allowing yourself to do that one big, ugly, heavy, heaving cry, so that you can process what your body is going through. It's very cleansing. You'll definitely take a nap. Make sure you drink water, have a snack. You feel me? Refresh yourself. It's like drawing blood. It's like giving blood. You feel me? You need to replenish your electrolytes. So definitely make sure you take care of yourself and self-care. If you have yourself a crying session, my men, get yourself, if you partake in the meat things, get yourself a nice little steak moment. You feel me? Like prepare something nice for yourself so that you can like have that moment. Also, if you want to cry while you're eating, I also encourage that, because you can be like, this is good. And also, I'm processing my sad emotions. And it's just crying while you're eating is a beautiful experience. Like I said, I'm a Cancer. I love food. I love emotions. So I condone.